and Four Directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
If the statistics say that 1 in 3 Native women and 1 in 6 Native men have experienced sexual assault in their lifetime, it means our whole community is affected by sexual violence. 1 is too many. Don't stand by, stand up. Don't engage in acts of sexual violence and shut down the dirty jokes, the gossip, the victim blaming and shaming. As a community, we can change the way we respond. Contact the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition to attend a workshop to learn more.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Maintaining our health, particularly our heart health, is very important to us as a family.
Your heart gives you time with family, time with community, time to pass down what matters. Protecting your heart helps keep those moments alive. A visit with a healthcare provider can be one step toward a healthier future. Learn more at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats. Your heart health is essential because your heart beats for generations. Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms possible with a low of 66, then Tuesday clearing with a high of 78. Summer is here, so have a night to remember with dinner and a show at Crooner's Supper Club. Crooner's is located in Fridley on Highway 65, just north of I-694. Check out their concert schedules and dinner menus at croonersmn.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous. Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings that wounded me.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, today we're leading off here with Wendy Pilot with our sacred animal updates, and then we're going to have Dr. Stately on, and it's going to be just a great show. Did you notice that, Wendy? I almost didn't hit the unmute button.
I know, I saw that.
I'm new
right at the last minute.
I'm new every Monday. Well, hey, welcome, Wendy, and introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, hey, everybody. My name is Hana Jihihani. That means cares for them, and I was given that name by my Dager Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hana Jinga, which means walks on white clouds. I'm a policy volunteer for the Humane Society of the United States, now called Humane World for Animals, and I work on animal issues at the local and state level. It's always my pleasure to do that. Hey, you know what? We've been following these two eagles.
Yes.
Yep, Jackie and Shadow. And Jackie is getting intensive care right now. But I wanted to go back and just, because I was like really interested about how long these two eagles have been together.
Oh.
Where exactly
Where'd they meet?
do they perch?
Was it-
How they meet? Was it a
dating app these two eagles had?
an Eagle Cam app that they have? I don't know. Anyway, Big Bear Eagle Cam in California, Fawnskin, California, to be exact. It's in the San Bernardino National Forest. The live stream, you could look it up, is positioned roughly 145 feet up in the Jeffrey Pine Tree overlooking Big Bear Valley. And it really is a beautiful scene when you look at the Big Bear Eagle Cam. So you could just Google that and get on there and look at the eagles and see their nest. And then you could see the valley with the river flowing through it. And it's really just beautiful. But I was surprised to find out that this they've been tracking Shadow and Jackie since 2018.
Wow.
Shadow first arrived at the nest 2018, but Jackie was there in 2017. And get this, in 2017, Jackie, she had another partner, and his name was Mr. B. But what happened was Shadow came, and he was really very aggressive and wanted to be with Jackie. So yeah, so yeah, it was. So the Eagle Cam watched all of this happen, unfold, and people watched this all over the world. And Shadow intimidated Mr. B so badly that he left.
Oh.
But Jackie and Shadow have been together since 2018 together, and they've had multiple, babies together, and they've been
What are they
just
called?
doing
Chicks or
eaglets?
Eaglets. Thank
Yeah,
you.
eaglets. Yeah. So just recently, Jackie ended up at the rehabilitation center after being found weak, grounded, and unstable to fly following a dramatic fight with two younger eagles. Yeah. That happened July 17th, 2026. On the ground video captured Jackie in a severe physical confrontation with two subadult bald eagles near Dana Point Park in Fawnskin. It's where their nest is. A local resident spotted her stranded on the ground and called the San Bernardino County Fire Station. The firefighters stayed with Jackie for several hours to guard her against human interference and predators while waiting for the wildlife team to come and get her.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a big process. I just can't even believe it. I'm so happy that people go to these lengths to take care of these beautiful animals. Yeah, around 2 a.m., the San Dimas Rapture rescue team arrived on the site. They safely secured Jackie and provided her with the initial medical stabilization, but they really realized that Jackie was way sicker than they could even take care of her. So they recognized the complexity of her conditions, and she was officially transferred to the Ojai Raptor Center. That was the one I couldn't pronounce last week. It's Ojai, Ojai Raptor Center in Ventura County, which is over 100 miles away from their original nest. Yeah, so they're really experts there, and they've initially, they thought she had lead poisoning, right? She was sick, she had lead, but she had no broken bones. Surprisingly, comprehensive x-rays and exams revealed that Jackie did not suffer any broken bones or major traumatic injuries from the territorial fight. Instead, veterinarians discovered she was already suffering from a severe underlying systemic illness. She was diagnosed with critical anemia, which is a dangerously low red blood cell counts, and intense inflammation affecting her kidneys.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, which is what actually left her too weak to fly away from the young eaglets. Veterinarians have already ruled out common threats like lead poisoning or a swallowed foreign object. I guess that's pretty common with eagles as well. But they're still running advanced tests to pinpoint the exact root of her illness. So they don't really know why she has anemia or this inflammation of her kidneys. But really right now she can't be let back out into the wild because she's just not stable enough. She was in the critical care unit, but they took her out and she's now in like a regular unit, but she's getting around the clock care.
Can we send cards to her?
I'm like really following these two eagles. I really care about them, you know, because over the years I have watched them through this Eagle Cam, which is really fun to watch. And you could see like the eaglets being born and they co-parent. So they both co-parent. And the other thing is that Jackie got a blood transfusion from another eagle. From another eagle, a 20-year-old female eagle that's at this Ojai rehabilitation center, and this eagle can't be released back in the wild. It was it's been there for like 10 years,
injured,
and it's been injured, so it lives there, and they take really good care of it, and it's living a very happy, nice life.
Wendy, I'm blessed every day to see eagle fly over my head. I took a picture again.
We
live so
this
close.
Morning. Yeah.
And we always see them when we're on the river, the Mississippi. You know, we used to see the same 4 over and we'd count 8, but we do see quite a few.
Yeah, we do. I love to see them. They're just so majestic and so beautiful. And they have really complicated social lives, you know. They mate for life. They co-parent. They both take care of the chicks. They both defend the nest. They both, you know, hunt.
They live a pretty long time.
And they live a very long time, yeah. But I was really wondering, like, how Shadow's doing without her gone, you know, because...
How would you do without me?
Well, I would be very sad. So, yeah, Shadow is managing quite well. And currently is in his summer vacation because, you know, after Jackie left, he had the 2 eaglets to take care of. So he had to go hunt on his own and bring back food on his own. And he did that. He took really good care of them. And the eaglets left the nest. The eaglets left the nest and they're on their own now. So like Shadow is being a little bit of a bachelor, I think, you know. He's having his summer vacation.
Smoking cigars.
They say because the breeding season is over, he's no longer tied down by the nest duties, right? And he has a relaxed daily routine now, you know, and he doesn't have Jackie probably like, you know, bugging him to like, go find a fish.
Put your hearing aids in. Oh, wait, that's you and I.
Exactly. So the wildlife biologists are monitoring the nest again and just watching Shadow and seeing what Shadow does. So we're wishing the best for Shadow. And the 2 chicks that left were Sandy and Luna.
Hey, Peony Gigi, thanks for the update. Thank you very much, Wendy. Up next, Dr. Stately. Oh, jeez.
Stay with us.
Happy Monday.
Heart health is more than just the physical well-being. It represents like a foundation of vitality, resilience, and the ability to live fully.
Your heart carries stories of resilience, love, and survival. Caring for your heart means honoring yourself and the generations before and after you. It means protecting your ability to gather, laugh, and be present. Learn more about your heart health at hennepincounty.gov/heart-beats because your story matters and your heart beats for generations.
We are your relatives.
We are your relations.
Brothers, sisters, sons, daughters.
Some of us are your grandchildren.
We are your community. Historically, we held places of honor and respect. Because of the impact of colonization, some of us are rejected, thrown out from family, friends, and community, set up as targets for sexual violence, sex trafficked, humiliated, tortured, and murdered. Everybody has the right to be safe. We are your relatives. Remember,
homophobia is not traditional.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and hey, we are joined by our friend Dr. Stately, CEO of Native American Community Clinic and president. Thank you so much for coming on. It's great to see you. I've missed you. I know you've been doing a lot of traveling, but love to see those updates on what's going on at the Indian Center. And Wendy just jumped off there. Oh, wow.
Still
here. Yeah. Oh, I can hear her.
Yeah, she's just listening.
Okay, good. It's good to see you both. Bonjour, everyone. Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. Yeah, the last couple of weeks have been a little bit crazy for me in terms of travel. But I mean, I did spend, not last week, but the week before, I was at Sundance for, I think, 4 days, for all 4 days. Really beautiful experience, but it was so hot. Oh my God, it was so blistering.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're safe. I just can't believe I've been out the Avenue the last a couple times last week and just see your beautiful building that's taking generations to come about, coming to fruition. It's just beautiful, and I just have to hit the applause button for everyone here at Native American Community Clinic. There we go.
Wow. You have a little button. You have a little button. Is that only on this platform, or do you have it on your phone? You just go around giving people applause?
I used to have one of those things that just let's see. That's okay. That was a joke. So we got the rim shot here.
Little ba-dum.
What else is on here? Oh, somebody's ignoring me.
Tweety birds.
Yeah, crickets, I do believe.
Oh, those crickets. Okay, yeah. Someone's ignoring me. I love that.
Yeah.
I should get that on my phone.
So how are things going? And are we on schedule? It's just beautiful. I mean, the avenue's really lighting up with a couple clinics opening up, and it looks like the U of M's opening up one too. So
yeah, I mean, I think we knew that this was all happening because we all were talking about it all around the same time. I mean, I work with some of these people on initiatives and projects. At one time, really like NAC's actual foray over a decade ago in opiate use disorder really started as a relationship between us, Community University Healthcare Center, so Cook Clinic, and then also Indian Health Board. So the three of us were working on a project together. And then I stepped into my role as CEO, and that was something that was already in process. And one of the things I think that has been true since for the last 10 years I've been here is that we work really collaboratively with a lot of organizations across the Twin Cities, but certainly the two other health centers that are sort of really in our same neighborhood, we have some of the same things. I mean, we're impacted by a lot of the same conditions in the community and in and around the corridor. Our programs and the things that we do differ in terms of how we show up and kind of address those issues, but generally we work together collaboratively, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is really a good
and thing. We knew that we all were talking, 8 years ago about building new buildings, and
here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. Amazing. And as a young person, we remember Franklin Avenue was riddled with bars and crime and insanity, and now it's the Native Corridor.
And now it's just insanity. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about my father. My father used to walk up and down Franklin Avenue and he had insanity. He is schizophrenic, but diagnosed with schizophrenia. But I as a little one, like when I was a little teeny tiny guy, like that's where I went for my healthcare. I went to Kook, which used to be, if you recall, I don't know if you I actually don't know if you grew up here or not, but like in the late 60s, early 70s, the place most of us could only go to like the Kook clinic for healthcare, and it was trailers. Like I would go and they didn't have a building yet. It was like a collection of trailers. So I would go there for my hearing assessments and other things. They didn't have a dental program then. We used to have to go downtown to a dentist that was in Fauché Towers.
Wow.
I remember like when I was a little kid taking the number 7 down there to the Fauché Towers and just thinking like, I felt like walking into the place like it was just glamorous, you know?
Yes.
It's like a whole nother universe when I was a little kid.
It was the tallest building in Minneapolis then, too.
It was for a very short period of time. Then they built the IDS. And I remember when that happened. I was a teenager when they were building IDS.
1973, they built the IDS. And prior to that, the Fauché was the tallest building in Minneapolis for many, many, many years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just remember like walking into the Fauché, and it was like, you know, it was the tallest building and the marble floors and the, you know, alabaster. It was just like, oh, I felt like a little movie star walking in there, just going to get my teeth cleaned or fixed.
Or fixed. Oh, wow. Hey, so each one of the floors is smaller and smaller. It was designed, I think, by the same person that designed the Washington Monument.
Yeah. So they get smaller and smaller. Yeah.
Yeah. By inches.
No comment.
Let's move on here to something.
I know. That's like, but yes, we are on schedule to open our new clinic in September. You know, currently right now, the expectation is that we will take occupancy. I love that. Like we get to move in occupancy on September 9th, which is a Wednesday. So, you know, we have a good plan, I think, for moving in. We expect, you know, it to be a little bit of a rocky situation for the first couple of months, like first several weeks, because we're going to move in, like everybody in the existing building, which is dental, our medical outfit, our substance, our MAT, medication assisted treatment program, and then our harm reduction folks and street outreach team, for the most part are the ones, and then operations is all over there in that building currently, and then the rest of us are kind of spaced out in other buildings. But that building has to be torn down when we move out of it to create the new parking lot in the back of the new building. And so we're moving into that first week or so of September, and then people will start to sort of like, you know, get acclimated to the space. The space looks different. The layout looks different. The folks who sort of are used to sitting next to so-and-so might not be sitting next to so-and-so anymore. And so they got to find their, but
they'll find a way to get back to.
Yeah. They'll have to find, you know, they have to build all that. And, you know, it's like I was going to say right now, you know, you can walk through the clinic and close your eyes and probably end up where you're supposed to go, but that's actually not a true thing. Our existing clinic was made in a cracker box of a shopping mall, a building that's old and dilapidated and about to fall down anyway. But as we grew in the organization, we grabbed space as people left, right? And so we kind of just, you know, we took like, it's like a Roblox kind of experience, or like I guess it would be more appropriate to say it's, what is it? The other things, the building blocks. Yeah, Tinker Toys. Actually, that's probably more appropriate. Erector sets and Tinker Toys.
Yeah,
because Legos and Roblox are like much more modern, right? So.
Right.
Probably. But
Yeah.
and it functions that way, and like you get lost in the place, and it's like anybody comes to see us, you get like navigating this crazy space, which was never really designed well the very first time for it to be like a clinic. So I think the thing that we're the most excited about, other than just how beautiful the building is, the building itself is quite beautiful, quite lovely. I haven't been over there yet this week to go look inside of the building. I was last in the building maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And every single day, if not week, something new is in there and quite remarkably like stunning. So like I know that like a lot of the art that's going to be sort of represented as part of the building, like on walls and like entryways and those kinds of things, have gone in, and they're stunning. Like I went to review and look at some of the medicine floral designs that represent our medicines that are going to be on the outsides of clinic walls where you walk into a clinic. And they were done at this really amazing women-owned and operated tile making facility in North Minneapolis. And I went to go look at them and make sure that they were represented what we were wanting. And I was blown away by just being in that presence of seeing those pieces. They're just like works of art. I was like crying.
Wow. I can see the new art popping up too from like powwow grounds. I can see it on the side of the building. Hey, we are here with Dr. Stately. We're going to talk a little bit more about the new Native American Community Clinic, and we'll be right back after this short break. Please stay with us. Oh, wow.
Culture prevents so many negative things from happening to us as individuals and as communities.
Strong roots begin with a healthy heart. For Indigenous women, heart health is part of caring for community, culture, and future generations. Even small steps can help protect what matters most. Discover ways to support your heart at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats, because your heart beats for generations. Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovated Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered Indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Native relatives. Work requirements are coming to medical assistants, but American Indian people are exempt. If you have medical assistance, go to mn.gov/DHS/American Indian to report that you are American Indian. If you apply for medical assistance, report that you are American Indian on your application. It's that easy. Checking the box protects your health and your insurance. Again, go to mn.gov/DHS/American Indian.
Programming is supported in part by Health Partners. If you're age 65 plus and qualify for medical assistance, you may also qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. This all-in-one plan bundles Medicare, medical assistance, prescription drug coverage, and dental coverage into one simple $0 premium plan That also includes $0 medical copays. In addition to saving money, you can get lots of extra benefits and perks, like a dedicated care coordinator, up to $400 each year in rewards for preventative screenings, transportation, a fitness club membership, and more. This can help you live safely and healthy and independently. If you're a senior on a budget, transportation assistance can be huge. Plus, who couldn't use an extra $400 these days? Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms possible with a low of 66, then Tuesday clearing with a high of 78. Summer is here, so have a night to remember with dinner and a show at Crooner's Supper Club. Crooner's is located in Fridley on Highway 65, just north of I-694. Check out their concert schedules and dinner menus at croonersmn.com.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and this is Native Roots Radio. We are with our friend Dr. Stately, just catching up on the beautiful work. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're super busy, and I really appreciate you. And I always want to wear what your swag is, but I do have that shirt, so a big peeny gigi there.
You do. It was a gift.
Right. Next time, let me know, and I'll wear mine, too.
We do have, currently we have a new shirt out that you can order online. It's for purchase. It actually, what do you call it? It showcases one of Marlena Miles' designs that's in our new building. And it's, you can purchase it in advance, limited edition, I think, I'm not sure. And then we'll have some that can be purchased on the day we have our open house, which I think is going to be October 2nd. So, but yeah,
that's awesome. And my birthday's coming up, so I'm really excited about that. Thank you, Dr. Stately. Also, we'll probably do a shirt for the clinic too on Native Roots Radio with a big colon, and we'll have the big blow up colon on the insignia of the shirt.
The rolling colon.
Yeah,
you have an unhealthy fascination with that rolling colon.
Yeah, I don't know. People seem to have.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be healthy, but.
Yeah. Hey, so let's talk a little bit about the other floors. What's happening on the other floors of the clinic?
Oh, the housing floors, yes.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that we're working on this now. We're trying to clarify, like, because everybody thinks that NAC owns and operates the housing, which we don't. It's a partnership between us and another organization, a housing developer partner that we partnered with like several years ago, like 4 years ago when we started the process. We're very lovely people, just really lovely people. I'm really very happy with the relationship that we have, and really happy with the work that we've all put in together to build the clinic overall and the housing component. And so they've been very generous and very I guess what I would say highly. We worked really hard on developing our relationship. And it didn't take a lot of work to develop it. We picked a housing partner to work on this project together who sort of really aligned closely with our values. Like our first time we sat down, I talked about what the housing meant to us as a project, the significance of it for our community. Talked a lot about our grandfather teachings and the 7 Dakota values as being principal foundational pieces about how we think of operating as an organization within our organization, but also in partnership and also with the people we serve in the community. And so their approach to us was really very highly relational, and it was good. It was a good foundation to start on and build on. So they really deferred a lot to us in the design pieces and also some of the other parts of the housing component, meaning, they're going to own and operate the housing because they're the developers. They're the ones that sort of got all the investments to build that component of the building. And so they own and operate that piece, but they have really relied heavily on us and the work we do in the community to sort of like facilitate the relationship building component of that. We recommended, for instance, an example is we recommended to them that they have a housing program manager, somebody on site who was going to like do the property management, resolving issues, those kinds of things. Hire somebody from our community that has housing experience, train them to be a housing, the property manager or assistant manager, and have that person have a really good understanding of who our community is and how they function, and how to really be a good relative in that role. And they did hire someone from our community, and they've been training her for the last several months, and that person will be working alongside of us to sort of help manage some of the things that happen in that building and around the building space. So that's a pretty exciting piece. They allowed us to sort of take the lead in helping to develop a name for the apartments, and the name was given to them by two of my Dakota relatives who I leaned into and said, we're trying to acknowledge the original stewards of this land through this project, and not just by doing a land acknowledgement, but also having that represented and shown and demonstrated in all ways and forms within this building. And so they came up with a Dakota name for the apartment, which is Wihinapi, which translates generally to sunrise or new beginning. So the name of our apartments are the Wellington's Apartments, our partners, is Wihinapi Apartments. And it means, the place where people can start over, they can start their lives new, which I think is a really beautiful representation for like the work that we're doing within that space together. And I'm really, really excited about it. They'll start leasing up probably later than we do. We'll take occupancy earlier than they will. And as soon as that information is out, we'll be working with them to sort of market it and to let people know it's time to sort of like, put your applications in, those kinds of things. But they really do lead that work. We don't lead that work for them.
Interesting. Wow, I did not know that at all. That's a very interesting way to go about it. Because an important thing too, now you have 2 floors of the clinic, whereas before you didn't have 2 floors. You had, like you said, one kind of long, and there's going to be more people working in the clinic then because you have more space, correct?
I think there's some opportunity for growth in there. There's like our medical clinic is going from 10 exam rooms to 18. Our dental chairs are going from 5 to 12. So you can see that in those 2 departments specifically, there'll be more, probably a handful of providers that start and new people that will be delivering services. We'll be able to increase the amount of people we are able to provide dental care to, and also comprehensive medical care to, which is exciting. Right now, a lot of the space that we have in our existing space is like people are just like, crammed up so closely together. Yeah. There's just, so the larger space is going to give us a little bit more space from each other and also give us a little bit more opportunity to, not a huge amount of opportunity to grow, but probably, we'll add like 15 to 20 new positions over the next several years. What it gives us is it gives us the opportunity to have a small expansion in some critical care areas, and then also there'll be a slight increase in the number of behavioral health providers as well in outpatient mental health clinic. And then what it mostly gives us is it gives us a intentionally designed clinic that has a significant focus on integration and workflows that make sense, so that, right now, like if you're a provider, you're sitting like, 3 or 4 doors over from where the exam rooms are. So when you have to go see a patient, you're walking quite a bit. to go see a patient, and all of that time, yeah.
Do that with your hand again. They're walking.
Walking. Here, if you have a short leg, you have one, bad leg, you have that.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Hey, is it an open? I know when Wendy moved to the new building when she was working for the U of M, they had a whole open office concept. Is that something that you guys are doing, or
the back of house where the medical staff and the dental staff do? They have an open area where they kind of together. Exam rooms are going to have private doors and such like they should. Behavioral health, not less open. They're all going to, the therapists or the people treating people have their own office where they do therapy. We have a group room, a few other things. The space where everybody sort of kind of works collectively and collaboratively together, that's going to be an open concept, meaning there's a handful of what we would call when your group and you need to have a private conversation, they're like rooms you can use to have that.
Yep.
And then you go back to your desk, kind of a thing. The harm reduction space has its own space. The MHEs has its own space with clinic exam rooms inside of that. And it's just, each place has a little bit more of its own space, and rather than kind of sitting on top of each other, which is nice, I think, because, that can be challenging for folks. And then most importantly, this space has I have relatives who tell me this, you don't have enough bathrooms at NAC. And I was like, I know. I'm very aware of this. We have luxurious bathrooms now. So a lot more bathrooms, and more bathrooms, which is what we've needed for quite some time. And also, I think will hopefully people will experience when they walk into the new clinic is, or hopefully before they even walk in, they'll feel automatically as they approach the building and they see the representation of culture and language and our practices and our values represented on the building. They'll know they're walking into an Indigenous space, right? They're going to know that they're walking into a place that was built intentionally and designed intentionally to make sure that that this is a place where you belong. This is your place, right? Absolutely. And so we really spent a lot of time in our design meetings with our master architect, Sam Albixson, who did the Indian Center and a number of other places.
Yeah,
we spent a lot of time talking about what does it look like to be in a space where it reflects back to you who you are and that you belong here and that this place is built for you. So I'm hoping and I feel confident that we've achieved that every time I walk in there. Into the space, even when it's not done, I'm starting to see elements of that design process and our consultation and our discussions kind of coming to life, and it makes me really emotional. I'm not typically a big crybaby, but I am. Yeah, I know you are.
I'm wondering if I can lease the rooftop off to have parties up on the rooftop of the clinic, and how is the view up there?
Yeah, you won't be able to, because I think we're having what do you call it up there? What are those
colons?
No, the rolling colon for you. Yeah, probably not on the top of the building, but I think we're having solar panels up there.
Oh yeah.
One of the beautiful things about this building is that we put geothermal in the underneath, and that geothermal system is going to heat and cool the entire building for both the apartments and the clinic. And what I love about that is that people that live in the apartments aren't going to have to pay for heat, and they're going to have to pay for AC.
Wow, that's beautiful. Hey, we're here with Dr. Stately. We're going to take a quick break, talking more about the Native American Community Clinic here in Minneapolis on Franklin Avenue.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Maintaining our health, particularly our heart health, is very important to us as a family.
Your heart gives you time. Time with family, time with community, time to pass down what matters. Protecting your heart helps keep those moments alive. A visit with a healthcare provider can be one step toward a healthier future. Learn more at hennepincounty.gov/hearts-beats. Your heart health is essential because your heart beats for generations.
When we heal from our traumas,
When we face our fears,
let go of our addictions,
when we relearn our values,
when we live our teachings,
respecting our elders,
cherishing and honoring our children,
when we honor and take care of our spirit,
there will be no room left for sexual violence.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe. Tradition meets innovation.
Hi, it's Dr. Evan Adams, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio. Hey, Victor, you better be listening.
In this portion of the show, we'd like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations throughout Turtle Island. Say no to the hunts.
I love that. I love that little roar at the end.
Oh, speaking of wolves, I put my dog down
Oh my
month
God.
ago. Yeah, we put our Tokaniwa, which means enemy swim. She was found by my cousin in enemy swim when she was just a baby. And my cousin passed away, I think 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago. And she came to live with us when my cousin passed away because it was actually quite by accident. She didn't know she was going to, she knew she was terminal, but she said, "Can you take the dog until I can figure some things out?" And I said, "Yes, of course." Because we had taken care of her a couple of different times over those years before that. During the pandemic and stuff, and her husband was sick with cancer. She needed somebody to take care of the dog. We took her for that year, and then it was quite by accident. She says, "Yeah, can you just take the dog for a few days? And when I get out of the hospital, I got to work with hospice to figure out my next things, and I'll figure out a thing for the dog." And then she died 5 days later.
Oh my God.
Before we had a chance to make a plan. So I used to jokingly say she left me with that dog, that old dog, with no with no no money to sort of take care of her. She's got all these. She herself had a bunch of health issues, but anyway, I was just teasing about that. But so I did when the day we put her down, she was so sad. She kind of went rapidly. She lost control of her hind legs and she couldn't move, and then she wasn't eating. And then the morning I was supposed to take her for a follow-up appointment to her vet. I couldn't get her up off the floor. I couldn't get her to get up, and she was huge. I couldn't pick her up, and she was in a lot of pain. She was in a lot of pain. So I tried to pick her up and she yelped and kind of nipped at me. And I was like, okay, we're in a different situation here. So I called the vet and I was like, I don't know what to do. The vet was like, well, there's people, if you can get her in the car, because we can't come to you, you can get her in the car and bring her. So we'll do our best to take care of her. And then I started to describe some of the issues that she was having. And the vet was really kind. And she goes, well, honey, Toka's 14 now. She just turned 14 in July. And she said, and that's a long time for a dog her size to live. And she's had a very full life, and, you can bring her in and I'm sure we can try to help her, but it's likely that she's not gonna, she might not heal well and all those other things. So she just kind of created the opening for me to say, okay, yeah, let's talk about euthanizing her.
Yeah.
and putting her out of her misery and just giving her, not having her live in pain anymore. And that was at, I think, maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, she connected me with somebody who could euthanize her that day. I thank God, because I didn't know how I was going to get through the next several days. It was a Friday morning. And so I laid down on the floor with her for like a good 30 minutes and just laid with her and held her and talked to her. And I looked in her little eyes and I said, when you get home, you tell your mom that I'm mad that she didn't give me any money to take care of you.
Yeah.
And she just kind of she opened her eyes and she kind of looked at me like quizzically, and then she was like calling her eyes, and I was like, oh. So
Geez, we're close to that point with Wanda, so it's kind of sad to hear.
Very sad. It's hard. I cried so hard that day.
They're family.
They are family, and she was such a sweet girl. She almost never barked or complained or anything. She was such a good girl. I would always get challenges when I would take her. Like, I would take her out for her walks at and sometime between 10:30 and midnight, because she was she was half wolf and half Alaskan. So
was it a Malamute?
And she was a Malamute, yeah. So she was like, she wouldn't go to the bathroom while she was on the leash. So I had to take her off the leash so she would go to the bathroom. Because otherwise I'd walk her for like an hour and I'd just walk her. I'm like, girl, I don't have time for this.
I want to know how does she talk? Because you said she didn't complain. So is this a talking dog too?
No, she didn't do a lot of like yelping and and she wouldn't howl. Like, I have a shepherd Alaskan, and he does that whole thing where he's like, and he'll like howl for like a good minute, So like, okay. Clearly you want something, right? Yeah. But she was just like a sweet old lady. She was just like and it was hard for me, hard for my children. We just loved her so much. And I was like, and I laid down on the floor with her, and I just like held. The last time I did this kind of thing where I laid on the floor with my dog before it was euthanized I was 11 years old when we put my family dog down, a lady. She was, I knew they were going to euthanize her the next day, so I slept with her on the floor the night before she went to get euthanized. So I laid on the floor and just talked to her, just told her all the things, told her how important she was to me and that I loved her so much, and I thanked her for just being a good protector and a good girl and bringing us so much joy and good memories. And I told her that I'd always think about her. So we got her euthanized, and we got her I just got her ashes back on Saturday, or yesterday, Sunday. So I went and got her ashes back, and I have a little heart-shaped thing that her ashes are in with little paw prints on it.
Yeah, we have about 9 of those here since Wendy and I have been together, and now we're down to just to Wanda.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It is hard. It really is very hard. I think it's just the most it's the most loving act you can do. It's hard to be like the person that makes that decision. It was so hard for me, and I knew I needed to make the decision because my kids and my partner weren't going to make it. Right? They weren't going to.
Right. And she was suffering.
And she was suffering, and my son was like, "Can't we just wait for another few days?" I said, "Honey, she's in pain. She's suffering. She's not comfortable. She's like." What you do for somebody that you love is you want them to not live in pain. You want them to not be suffering. So, yeah. So I think, I don't know where I'm going to find my next wolf dog from, but I got to figure that out.
The creator will find you one.
Yeah, they will. I'm sure they will. So.
Well, Dr. Stately, appreciate that, and appreciate you talking about that.
Yeah, well, you make sure you just lay with lay with that lady and talk to her, love her up. I don't know how your cat is, but my cat is like my cat will not let me do anything or go anywhere. Like, he gets mad at me when I leave. I was gone for Sundance. I came back and he was very mad. And then so like this morning when I was like getting ready to go to work, I got downstairs, finished my shower, got all my stuff. I was getting ready to walk out the door, and I turn and I look, and he's standing like this, like, very like, very like a Stephen King novel. He's standing in front of the door, like looking at me like, where do you think you're going?
Well,
So they own us as much as we own them. Like, we belong to each other. So,
well, this dog in particular has got me trained. So we'll be missing her, but she's still hanging in there, and she's still alert, and she still wants. She's still excited about stuff. So we're doing the best we can. Appreciate it, Dr. Stately.
Thanks.
Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. We'll cry tomorrow and see you tomorrow.
Take care. Okay.
Heart health is more than just the physical